involved in your training here?
So most part of my training happens in the swimming pool, and almost close to 90% of my training before an event happens in the pool, where I do all the speed work, endurance work, and so on. And just maybe a few weeks before my major event, I typically go to the place where I will be starting the swim and get acclimatized to the local conditions and train out of that sea, the ocean from that from a few weeks before the start of the event. There I try to do a little bit longer and so on, but by the time I reach the place, I would have finished my most of my longer swims in that process, because you really don't want to have a very tired shoulders before your big
Yeah,
swim.
more like a
So
taper
really
type
want
of
to, yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah, tapering, yeah, more of tapering I have around that time. Um, yeah, but that's only the swimming part. But then there is also the strength and conditioning part that I do on the dry land to complement with my swim. So that I try to do at least 3 to 4 sessions in a week, if not more. And
So how
then
many
I
times do you
swim.
swim a week?
I swim about 4 to 5 sessions in a week. It's during the regular period like now, because I have my swims coming up later in July, so I will now start ramping up. During the off season, so to say, it is more around an hour or hour and a half kind of a swim per session.
You, you
But
swim long course or short course usually?
I prefer long course. I prefer long course. Yeah. Um, and then as in the build up to the event, I try to then put in more duration, more efforts, into the swim, thereby clocking more miles in that process. So that is where I always hope that all the speed work that I've done during the off season really helps me in my long swims as I build it up before the event.
So when you're doing, I'm guessing you do a lot of like distance and some interval
Yeah,
work, things like this. Is that right?
yeah, yeah,
And then
right.
and then so as you build that, more mitochondria, things like that kind of help you out from that standpoint. How many meters do you normally swim in like one of your longer workouts?
The longer workouts in the pool, I've done about 18 kilometers in the pool. Um, I think it's little over 6 hours or something like that. Yeah, it's very tough. I mean, I always find it very difficult to swim longer in the pool compared to swimming in the ocean. But yeah, I think that's the fact of life. So I need to make peace with it. So I train as much as possible in the pool, and then take my training to the ocean.
Hmm. Great. Absolutely fantastic. And I've just got to ask you, how does your family feel about you doing all these things? How do they react to it?
Yeah, actually, it's a great question, because yeah, we went through our own ups and downs in that process. In the initial years when I started training for the English Channel, it was pretty tough. For almost 2 years, we never had a vacation, because all my weekends are invested in the long swims, and so we did not. Initially, my family didn't like it, but I think once they saw me so committed to what I was doing, and they realized the gravity of the effort that is needed to train for the English Channel, then they started supporting me. And then at one point, even they started putting pressure on me. How come this weekend you're not swimming? You should be doing long hours. So it started working the other way around.
Yeah.
But yeah, but I think on the whole, I think without family support, yeah, definitely it's very difficult to manage. And my wife took care of everything during those many, many months of